4 stands up from the august and historic BBC Radio Theatre. It's posh, isn't it? A friend of mine emailed me saying, oh, it's in London again, isn't it? I was like, well, yeah, it is. It kind of is. I understand people get a bit annoyed about the London-centric aspects of some BBC stuff, and I do understand that. I quite like to see the BBC move around a bit. I'd like the BBC to do every other year in Scotland. I think that would be good. I think that would give it a kind of bounce and a verve that is missing from some of its English programming. You're looking at me like, no, well, they've got Jim Knocht in Eddie Mayer. What do these people want, eh? It's not easy to get them over Hadrian's Wall. Those ladders are expensive, you know. We don't have Hadrian's Wall anymore. Really? Oh, God, Muriel, get the children inside. Get them inside. I think Scotland is a truly great nation. I think it has something that England just never will have. Because as an English person, you're sort of hidebound by this kind of post-colonial embarrassment. There's a sort of, terribly sorry, and came over to borrow a cup of sugar. I seem to have invaded your entire country. Appalling faux pas. Stayed 200 years and raped all your natural resources. What a bloody fool. Just let me have the sugar. I'll be on my way. Have democracy in the railways. We've lost the instructions. Good luck. Kind of our attitude to the world. And what I love about Scotland is that they don't care what anybody thinks. Any country that is prepared to take in the face of the entire planet as its national game, tossing the caber, doesn't really give a monkey's. Nuts to football! I'm going to throw that tree. They won't play cricket because it's a waste of wood. They look at the stumps going, look, travel cabers! With my wee fingers there. And the other thing that English people don't realise about Scotland is that Scotland owns England. They basically own it. Not ordinary Scottish people, not dead at 50 because of the wrong kind of food kind of Scottish people, but posh Scottish people. You know, have you ever met a posh Scot? Oh, my goodness. You wouldn't know. You don't know unless they tell you. They are the poshest people you have ever met in your life. They make the English aristocracy look like hod-carrying scumbags. They're really... Hello, my name's Lachie Moncrief. I'm a lad, and it's a joy to meet you. Incredible people. And they own most of England. And I just think after they finally get independence, they're just going to foreclose. And we'll all be left standing on the Isle of Wight, proving that point about we can. You know, that'll be us. That's them. It's a country forged in far harsher climatic circumstances than ours. Have you been to Aberdeen? They talk like that. Hello, I'm from Aberdeen. Hello, I'm an Aberdonian. The reason I talk like this is I can't open my mouth any wider, because if I do, the wind will get in and freeze me from the inside. I will desiccate there on the streets. My friend will go to shake my hand. I will shatter on the pavement in front of Esselmont and Macintosh department store. It will be it's incredible. They absolutely put the English to shame because we're just such a namby-pamby, look-at-me kind of, you know, just generations or two above my own. They have that kind of thing where they're hidebound by the loss of empire. There's that sense of England was ours. The people genuinely think we had an empire. It was our empire. God gave us that empire. It will come back. It won't come back. It's not coming back. There are parts of our own country don't even want to be in England anymore. Cornwall, they want independence. Bless them. Right? No. Well, you know, when you meet a Scottish nationalist, you think, well, it's a very fine case that you put. Historically and politically, it's a heavy case to answer. Let's sit down and talk about it. When you meet a Cornish nationalist, you think, oh, he's a little Cornish nationalist, who's a little Cornish nationalist, you are little Cornish, you are so sweet. Off your pop, it's good to have a hobby. Nonsense, what a nonsense. They're the poorest part of the British Isles. They can't get independence. They've got their flags black and white because they can't afford colour reproduction. That's what that is. What are you going to do for natural resources after you gain independence? Fudge? I don't know. That's no. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have an outstanding show for you this evening. This is the wonderful Sarah Millican.
Hello. Thank you. Is everybody having a drink? Give us a cheer if you're having a drink.
Yeah.
Cool. I went out a few weeks ago with a friend of mine who's got a really dodgy husband, and I was really ill the next day, and I'd only had 2 glasses of wine. And I rang it and I said, I have no idea why I'm this ill. And she said, oh, that'll be Steve. He will have spiked your drink. I said, really? She said, oh, yeah. He spiked mine once with speed, but I didn't mind so much because I got loads of hoovering done. But I decided recently to move into a flat on my own, and my mum and dad don't understand why anybody would want to live on their own. My mum said, people only live on their own if they've got no friends or their husband's left them. My husband left me. Cheers, Mum. And then my dad made me look up the word hermit in a dictionary. But he did give me some good advice when I was looking for flats. He said, I don't think you should get one that's got a balcony. But with living on your own, there will be a high suicide risk. Just wondered if I should be bearing that in mind when I'm viewing properties. You know, is that oven gas or electric? Is that light fitting really strong? Could it hold a decent weight? 9 stone. Shut up, 10 stone. And a half. And another half. But I'm getting on a bit in age. I'm in my 30s. Any other people in their 30s? Sound tired. I'm tired. I did worry before I turned 30 about turning 30. I asked a few of my friends who were also approaching their 30th birthday how they thought it was going to affect them. One guy said it means I'm closer to retirement, which I thought was a good positive way of looking at it. But my favourite answer came from a bloke who said, I just need to make it to 34 and I've beaten Jesus at living. But I think as I'm getting older, things change. Obviously, of course, they change, but I noticed recently quite a dramatic change. I went to the cinema and I saw a film that had George Clooney in, and I've always been quite partial to a bit of George. I mean, George at Asda, George at Clooney, they're all the same. And in the film, George Clooney came out of the shower and put on a bathrobe, and my first thought was, oh, I could get a bathrobe. What's happened there? I think it's definitely a corner of the market that hasn't been covered for sort of comfy porn. Everybody's just sitting in their pyjamas and their slippers. And a bloke walks in and says, it's really warm in here. And the woman says, that's because I've got the heating on, full belt. But being quite an independent woman, I don't see myself getting married again. I've done it once, I don't see it happening again. So I'm never going to have the engagement ring that all the women get to sort of show off to their friends. And I don't really like kids, so I'm never going to be pregnant. And, you know, because when women are pregnant, they get their bellies felt, don't they, by strangers. I mean, you can feel my belly if you like, but it's just full of cake. But I would love it more than any child. So my sister does massage as a job, and she said to me recently, if you want, I'll do like a day, like an MOT, we'll do everything you like. And I said, make me feel beautiful, just do, you know, so I started listing all of these things. I said, I'll have a full body massage and have a facial, and I just went on and on and on, and my dad just went, no. Hold on. Rome wasn't built in a day. But I do think, because in a moment of stupidity recently, I did toy with maybe getting myself some thigh-high boots, and sort of fishing for a compliment, I said to my sister, where would I get thigh-high boots that would fit my thighs? And she said, well, trannies must get them from somewhere. I do think I'm like everybody else, because my downfall is cakes and puddings. I don't really drink an awful lot, and I was going to say I don't do drugs, but I did have a space cake once. I just heard the word cake. Just found it really dry. I might not know drugs, but I do know cake. Just think a bit of buttercream wouldn't have gone astray. It's almost like they hadn't thought about the cake part at all. But I do have to wash my weight, because my nana was huge, and she always used to say, I've just got to walk past a cream cake shop and I put weight on. Yet in her bag, she always had an emergency pasty. Had to go through things that had been in storage and sort of didn't really know what to do with my wedding dress, so I asked a few friends, and one girl said that I should put it on eBay. Do you think as an audience there's much of a market for a second-hand wedding dress, yes or no? Yeah, fellas saying yes. Did you hear that? Women, no, I want a real one, I want a new one. And the men are just, yeah, get a cheap one. They can get the flowers from a graveyard. But the weirdest answer I had, a friend of mine just said to me, totally straight face, I think you should wear it and follow him round in it. one I've ever had. Somebody said that I should wear it on first dates. How good is that? No, I'm not looking for anything serious. La, la, la. But I'll leave you with this. I've discovered recently how you know as a woman whether or not you're overweight. It's during the throes of passion when your bloke picks you up. Whether or not he says 1, 2, 3 first. You'd be lovely. Thank you very much. Good night.
So, Millican! I got a letter, this is true, I got a letter 2 days ago from the Metropolitan Police informing me that I was being done for speeding. It makes it so much harder for me to get righteously indignant about people who complain about speed cameras, who are, I think, on my list of least favourite people. You hear this opinion offered all the time in the pubs and in the right-wing press, those interchangeable organs of opinion. Speed cameras are a government revenue-raising exercise. So let me tell you something, my friend. All the speed cameras are right. They are a government revenue-raising exercise. That is it. What possible objection could you have to a speed camera? I can't believe it. I broke the law, I got caught, and now I've got to be fined. What the hell is that all about? I've endangered other people's lives with my own reckless behaviour, and suddenly I'm the one being held to account. Is that the kind of England that you want to live in? Yes. Yes. Broadly speaking, it is. Are you ready for your next act? Yes! Of course you are. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the very wonderful Mr. James Sherwood?
Good evening. I'm going to play the piano, if that's all right. Well, you don't really have any choice in the matter. If I'm going to take you through some of my rules of songwriting that I always try to stick by. Unfortunately, a lot of other songwriters are nothing like as strict. So you get problems like, I've found a ticket to the world, and now I've come back again. Why do I find it hard to write the next line? Songs which should have stopped there. That's the first rule. Next rule is grammar. I feel you should abide by the rules of good grammar, even when rocking. You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you... Yeah, it's all right, I know, yeah, subjunctive. If I were to say to you... See, it's so much better now, isn't it? Girl, we couldn't get much higher. You see, now it's sexy and correct. Come on, baby, light my fire. I mean, I just feel that when it comes to the subjunctive, as with so many things in life, the rule is basically, if Elton John can be bothered, I think we can all make the efforts. If I were a sculptor... You see, if I were a sculptor, it's just right. If I were a sculptor... But then again, no. Songs which should have stopped there. I wouldn't want anyone to think that I was ignoring the world of hip-hop. Nothing upsets me more than that allegation. What do we have from hip-hop? Oh, well, there's a take, fly, boss, walk, jam, nitty-gritty. You're listening to the boy from the big bad city. This is jam hot. That should, of course, be hot jam. So, adjective, then noun in English. You know, he's probably thinking of the French, you know, confiture chaude. That would be fine. But in English, we tend to stick to the other order. I mean, there are exceptions in English where we use the French order, you know, like light, fantastic, body politic, mint imperial. But... Kit Kat chunky. But apart from... Then there's other errors in songs that don't fit into easy categories, like you get in the American novelty rap record, Baby Got Back. The error in this one, it's a journalistic error, really, because the opening line of the song is, I like big butts and I cannot lie. The whole song then fixates itself on the rather tedious announcement that he likes big butts, while ignoring the more psychologically interesting detail that he cannot lie. Which is certainly the song I'd want to hear. one child who grows up to be someone who loves porridge. Mum and Dad like it hot and cold, but they still love porridge. It's a family of bears. 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 Yeah. Well, those of you who are looking forward to the second joke in this song. Yeah, so am I. I remember I just started going out with this girl once, and we were having that get-to-know-you conversation. I said to her, well, what kind of music do you like? And she said, oh, the usual, indie. I said, oh, yeah, me too, yeah. Ba-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da-ba. Did you see it? You see the Indiana Jones film? Yeah, it's brilliant, wasn't it? It was terrible, wasn't it? Yeah, it was both. But it was loads of films like that last year, wasn't it? It was all these comeback sequels of films from 20 years ago, like Rocky and Rambo and Indiana Jones. And the one I want to see is 3 men and a woman in her early 20s. I think genuinely harrowing. But there's... I was chatting to a friend of mine the other day, and we got onto the subject of sex. Have you heard about it? How to explain? It's a bit like Facebook. We use weird language when we talk about sex, like, "Oh, did you get to first base?" I don't understand baseball. How would I apply your metaphor? We should have our own metaphors, really. So, oh, did you get to first base? Well, I don't know about that, but at one point I had her 113 for 7. She was in serious danger of following on. Oh, there was one more song which should have stopped there that I meant to do earlier, which is You've lost that love and feeling 'cause it's gone, 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 and I can't go on, whoa. And obviously that should have stopped there. Well, mainly because it's about to turn into summer loving, which I think none of us wants. But equally, mainly, it should have stopped there because he's just told us that he can't go on. In fact, he's told us twice. Once in English, I can't go on, and once in horse, whoa-ho-ho-ho. I say horse. Obviously, that's nothing a horse would ever actually say. But it's something a horse would understand. You can get by. It's pigeon horse. Not to be confused with horse pigeon, which is when a pigeon's got a bit of a sore throat. Yeah. Tries to speak, but nothing comes out. Which is also known as an attempted coup. That's all from me. Thank you very much. Good night, cheers.
Sherwood, ladies and gentlemen. Please, would you welcome Mr. Jeff Green?
So, feeling a little bit rough, still a bit of the old chest and cold, and spent some time with my mum, so it's nice to be back here. Oh, is my mum the same as everyone else's? Walks a fine line between hospitality and mental illness. Right? You can put 3 stone on in an afternoon at your mum's house. They're just shoveling food into you. You're leaving the house going, where's me neck? I had a neck when I came in here. Or you stay the night, you wake up in the middle of the night. Mum's like that. Quality Street. Quality Street, son. No thanks, Mum. It's the purple one. Well, why didn't you say? Another blanket, lad? No, the 496 blankets you've given me already are quite ample. Thank you very much. My mum has still got blankets, right? They're so heavy you wake up in exactly the same position as you went to sleep. She puts him on in the night. He looks cold. More blankets. I've got a cold child here. He'll die without more blankets. Back the truck up. No more blankets, Mum. I'm turning into coal. Down here, you're getting me all fossilised. Son, you need blankets. I don't. Can you move? No. Stop kissing me. So I am married. Sorry, ladies, but and I was. It took me a while to get married because I was a bit scared about getting married. Because in Britain, 2 out of 3 marriages end in divorce. Yep, the other one ends in murder. A little bit scary. But I can't say I'm very romantic. I'm not a very romantic person. I try to be. My line in the sand is I'm not into the candles and the massage. I just find that just a bit fussy, candles and massage. And it's always with essential oils. Like the wife's going to me, "You're tense, Jeff." I go, "Yeah, because I'm covered in oil next to a bloody candle." I'm twitchy, love, that's what I am. One false move, I'll go up like a wicker man. That's hardly romantic, is it? What happened to your husband? Oh, him? He was incinerated. But he left a lovely smell of ylang-ylang. Oh, I like ylang-ylang. But it's nice. It's nice to be married. It's nice to be out of the loop, I have to say. Nice to be out of the loop. You know the loop? Meet women, get found out, learn nothing, move on. And I have procreated. I've got 2 little boys, 3 and 1. They're in the car. They're fine. I've put a little gerbil water bottle for them. They're all right. There's a rusk on a bit of string. They can be okay. Actually didn't want kids. I mean, I did not want kids. I was, I just never really thought about it. And got to that point where the doctor said to me, "What's happened?" I went, "I don't know, I've broke the seal. I had no kids at 40, 2 kids at 43. I'll end up living in a shoe. I'm terrified." Right? But I have children, and I've got a caravan. Yep, my life's over. I'm the future. Oh, anyone else got a caravan? 2 of us. Oh, mine's a Jubilee Ambassador, 2 berth. Yeah, got it on eBay. Yeah, imagine the postage on a caravan. Oh, what a fool. Oh, my wife loves eBay. You've only got to mention eBay to her. It's like a snake hearing a flute. Ooh, eBay. Off she goes. Oh, it's second-hand. I've got a gas fridge. You know these gas fridges? You've got to light them to make them go cold. Yeah, I don't know about you, but to me, that's just witchcraft. Right? That's a dark art. I want no part of it. How do you turn on the shower, Jeff? Well, I think you've got to use the hand of a murdered man. They sell them in the camp shop. I had an epiphany in my caravan, a blood-chilling epiphany. I was in Downton Caravan Park in the New Forest. I was in the communal shower block, emptying me waste. You know, living the dream. Listening to the constipated strainings of me fellow big winners in life's lottery. Then I'm queuing for water at a standpipe. Right, next to me there's a 60-year-old bloke washing his underpants in a plastic bucket. I thought, how did my life become this? How did my life become this? Then people say to me, "How was your holiday, Jeff? How was your holiday?" I went, "Holiday? It wasn't a holiday. It was a rehearsal for the collapse of Western civilization." That's what I've just endured. Half expected to have to catch a bag of rice from a passing aeroplane. Low point, campsite disco. I went to the campsite disco. Have you ever been to a campsite disco? What a temple of lost hope that place is. It's like a party for everyone who's ever been rejected from robot wars. That's what it is. Is this the future? I remember a lot of lime green Crocs and white socks. Cans of flat lager dancing to chirpy, chirpy, cheap, cheap. Oh, just all blokes looking at each other going, "How did this happen, fellas? How did this happen? We had dreams, didn't we? Didn't we have dreams? I had dreams. I didn't think I was going to be in a blooming campsite disco. I thought I was going to be in a rock and roll band. That's what I thought was going to happen. Looking back, I took up the wrong instrument. Took up the tuba. Not many rock and roll bands with a tuba playing in. It was my dad's fault. He sent me off to learn it when I was 10. Obviously didn't think I was being bullied enough at school. know, thought giving me a conspicuous wind instrument to carry should give me the edge, you see. My son's not getting his fair share of beatings. Have you thought of sending him to school with a pudding bowl haircut? Yet if it's not giving me the results I require. How about the tuba? Ooh. Will it be heavy enough to stop him fleeing an angry mob? Yes, it will. Cancel the ballet lessons, love. We found our man. Do you know the tuba? Some of you do. It's the one you wear. It's the one they lower onto you. And at the age of 10, you just look like a small factory. Pumping out dodgy notes. Of which you only get 3 with the tuba, and 2 of them can only be heard by whales. But I don't have any hobbies. I've got the heavy drinking. Is that a hobby? I love drinking. I love drinking. Oh, you can't drink heavily, can you now? We've got recycling. You have to bring out your crate of shame every weekend. Party, was it? No, just a quiet weekend with the wife, actually. That's just Monday's bottles. I've got to go and get Tuesday's bottles now. Tried all kinds of hobbies. Tried fishing. I thought, you know, as a Tottenham fan, wasn't getting enough disappointment in my life. I'll try fishing. I'll try model making. Did the model making. You know those, the magazines. You might remember the adverts. Week by week, month by month, decade by decade. Watch as the best years of your life become a dim and distant memory as you toil pointlessly on some Sisyphean task of building a Spanish galleon over 37,000 monthly issues. This month, get the captain's eyeballs. And get a barnacle, absolutely free. And you realise only you and 3 lifers from Broadmoor are actually making this blooming galleon. You've got a different concept of time. Have you ever had that thing with your phone going, which, you know, you think your phone's ringing in your pocket, it's like a vibrate, and you check there's just no phone call there, and there's like phantom phone calls? You know that's actually a psychological condition? Yeah, it's called loneliness. And on that bombshell, thank you very much. I'm Jeff Green. Good night. Cheers.
You've been listening to 4 Stands Up with me, Chris Addison, Sarah Millican, James Sherwood, Jeff Green. The producer was Sam Michelle.